Hello and welcome back. In today's video, we are going to talk about the beauty industry. And obviously, it's a multi-billion dollar business, but not everything in this industry is as it seems, or even as it should be. As you can tell by myself, this is really not my forte. I've never been and had Botox or lip fillers, and I've certainly never had any kind of cosmetic surgery. So today's video, we're going to be looking at a couple of people who went to have this procedure, but in their opinion, they got conned, scammed. I actually agree with them. Maybe you won't, but you can let me know your thoughts on that in the comments.
Okay, let's get ready and I'll tell you guys about why I'm banned from every ideal image in the US. So, a little bit of backstory. I started getting Brazilian waxes when I was a senior in high school. Just because wax or shaving never really worked for me, so I just got waxes.
That seems like a natural progression to me because let's face it, shaving doesn't work for everybody, does it? So getting waxed would be the next best thing.
And every time I got one of these waxes, I think it was with tip, I think it came to $75. So $75 every 4 weeks. So junior year of college, I was going to get waxed like I normally did. And I kind of just thought I wondered how much it would be to get laser since I was spending, almost $80 every 4 weeks. I just wanted to see what the comparison would be. And I kind of just Googled it. I didn't really put much effort or thought into where I was talking to because I was really just trying to get numbers estimate. So I ended up just calling the first people who came up when I searched laser hair removal places near me, and it happened to be a place called Ideal Image.
If we look at the comments on this video, then we're going to see that a lot of people have been to Ideal Image and they have had the same experience.
So as I'm talking to this lady on the phone, she's not really giving me a actual number estimate like I thought she would be able to do over the phone. She's kind of asking me different types of questions about my hair and skin color and different types of things that I guess matter when you're getting this stuff done. So I'm answering all of her questions thinking that eventually if I answer enough of these, she will get to the point and just tell me how much this is gonna cost, so that I can compare it to what I'm spending on waxes.
That obviously doesn't happen. She doesn't get a price. Otherwise, we wouldn't be making this video.
Long story short, I end up on a video Zoom call with one of their representatives, I guess. 3 hours later, I had taken out a $2,000 loan that was operating at about 30% interest rate. And I had signed a bunch of contracts. I don't know, was it stupid? Yeah. Should I have thought a little bit about what was going on? Yes, but it was just one of those things where you just keep saying yes and then you're in this whole mess.
Should you have thought about it and it was just one of those things? Yeah, 100% you should have thought about it. 3 hours on the telephone and all you wanted was a price and you didn't get it. And that wasn't a red flag to you? Wow, that seems pretty shocking to me.
So I get off the call and immediately I realize that I need to get out of this. This is not what I signed up for. I can't do this. So I start kind of looking through the contract I just signed to see truly what I just signed on for. And basically by the time I get done with this, I will have paid twice as much than I would normally have paid with this loan I took out that I didn't even need to take out. So my first thought was to just cut this off at the source and call the loan people and just say, hey, don't disperse this loan. So anyways, I call the loan place and I'm like, hey, I just took out this loan under this name, give them all the information and say, I've decided not to move forward with the service. Can you please just not disperse that loan to the Ideal Image place? And this is when I'm informed that they have like some sort of deal with them, with the image place, and that there's really no way to stop it. The only thing that I can do is, like, they can't stop it themselves. I have to get the place to tell them to stop it. I can't stop the loan.
I don't know how it works in America, but I know in Europe you have a cooling off period where you can change your mind and stop the loan. Let me know in the comments if there's anything like that where you live.
Obviously, I really don't feel like calling these people back and like canceling everything that I had just done, but I really have no other choice because I don't have $4,000 to spend on laser hair removal. So, whatever, I end up emailing the girl that I was talking to and kind of explaining that I shouldn't move forward with the procedure and that I need to just cancel everything, and then I wait for a response. And she finally gets back to me with a response saying that there's really no way for me to cancel what I've done because I signed contracts unless I have like a doctor's note pretty much saying that there's a physical reason why I can't have this procedure. So at this point, I'm kind of starting to stress because I'm kind of like realizing the legality situation that I've gotten myself in. I haven't just, booked myself a hair appointment. It's not like that. Like, I am in some legally binding shit right now. So finally I make the decision that this problem needs like an actual adult involved. So I finally call my dad and tell him the whole story.
This may really sound like a stupid thing to say, but aren't you an adult? Don't you have to be an adult to actually sign an agreement like that, surely?
And honestly, he's not shocked at all by this entire situation because, unfortunately, I get scammed a lot. But he ends up asking me to send him the contracts that I signed, and he'll have, like, our lawyers get into it and see what's going on. And you guys, like, this thing blew up for no good reason. So yeah, like, once the lawyers kind of got involved, I don't know, because I sent an email to the ideal image person saying that, like, I was having someone look at the contracts and everything. Then all of a sudden, like a few days later, I got an email saying, we will let you out of this contract completely if you never come to an ideal image ever again in the continental US.
Well, I feel that you were extremely lucky to be in a position where you could just contact your father and get a lawyer to get the contract cancelled for you. But what about all the people that are not in that position? That's the whole point of this video. You need to be extremely careful what you're doing with this kind of thing because there were just so many red flags there and you didn't end the call. There were lots of points in it where I would have just said, no, I've changed my mind and put the phone down.
I fell for influencer propaganda. It was an influencer that I thought was so genuine, would not BS, so when she made an ad for this beauty service chain across America, I was like, okay, I feel like I can trust this. Like, I trust her. I like her content.
I would never trust an influencer for the simple reason that they are getting paid to say this is good. What company pays an influencer and then accept their ad when they're saying it's bad? Have you ever heard of one? Because I certainly haven't.
That should have been my first red flag. I should have done my research, but I went onto this website and I made a consultation, and it was this lady in LA, and she was like, oh my god, girl, like, how'd you find us? Like, I love that you, like, found us. Like, I love this for you, whatever. And I'm okay with that jargon, but, like, when I'm trying to trust a company, like, maybe that's not when we should use it. I get relatability, but, like, maybe let's not. So I'm like continuing to talk to her about like what I'm interested in, and I thought I was interested in laser hair removal, but then she told me the price and I was like, oh, I don't know about that. And then she was like, oh, okay, well, we have this other treatment that's a little bit cheaper than that, and our clients are loving, they're eating it up, they're obsessed with it, and it completely removes all the texture from your skin. Just send me a couple pics of your face and we can see if it's right for you. And so I was like, okay, whatever. I sent her a couple pictures of my face and she was like, the nurses love you, like, you you are the perfect candidate for this. Like, your skin is going to be perfect after this. Like, it's zero downtime. Like, your skin is a little bit pink afterward, but then you're totally fine. And it's just once a month for 6 months.
The problem with what she's saying there is that not everyone's skin is the same. Not everyone reacts in the same way. So it could be a case of your skin is not just a little bit pink when you come out of there. I've seen people that have had this kind of thing done, and their face has been bright red and very sore for a lot of days, and they really wish they hadn't had it done. So always go for a test before you ever sign up to anything for an extended period of time.
She sold me the dream. I took it. Okay, that was naive. That should have been red flag number 2. Then she's like, okay, like, I can set you up with a monthly payment or we can do it up front. Which one do you prefer? And I was like, oh, obviously monthly. Yeah, that'd be great. Like, if I can just pay them monthly, that's way more, like, that's way better. She sends me a link to set it up, and it sends me to 2 other links, and then I'm fully taking out a loan unknowingly. I'm like, what? Like, this is like a debt collector, like, third-party medical loan. I'm like so confused, and I literally, like, don't want to be in debt. Like, I'm so confused why I'm taking out a loan. But so whatever.
You don't want to be taking out a loan, but so whatever, and you end up going through with it. Really? That is totally ridiculous. You seem like a nice person. You actually look like an adult. So why on earth did you go ahead with it?
I take out this loan, and then she's like, okay, I'm gonna have our nurse like do a little virtual consultation with you before you get started on your first treatment. And I was like, okay, fine. I get this FaceTime from an iPad. It's the grainiest screen you've ever seen in your life. This girl looks like she's in the back of a closet, and she's like, hey, do you have any heart problems? And I'm like, no. And she's like, okay, bye, have a good day. And I was like, okay, like, how is that your nurse on like file, whatever?
Obviously, that's not a consultation, is it? It's someone getting on an iPad and asking one question. You've got to ask, why did you move forward? Because I know you did.
So I go into my first appointment, and it's this location like 30 minutes away from me. And the lady is girly pop on steroids. Like, they all got the same training. She's like, girl, I'm so excited for you to be here today. Oh, this is going to be such an amazing journey for you. I'm so excited for you. She takes me to the back. She lays me down. She puts numbing cream on me. And then she's like, honestly, I think the hydrofacial would work such, like, wonders with this treatment. Like, if they go hand in hand, whatever. She goes to like check my account, and then she comes back completely different person. Frigid, does not care about me, so cold. And I'm like, okay, weird. And then I'm like, oh right, she saw that I'm doing monthly payments. She's like, this girl's broke, I can't get any money out of her, so I don't care about her. And then I was like starting to feel like maybe it's a little bit scammy, like they just care about my money. I'm a little bit worried.
That would be a serious red flag to me, feeling like they didn't care about me because I was doing monthly payments. And from what I understand of it, you don't even know what the monthly payments are. So that is something that you definitely should have made inquiries on.
But I continue. After the second treatment, I wasn't seeing any results, and I was kind of getting worried. So at the third treatment, I asked the nurse, I was like, is it usually supposed to kick in? Like, I'm not seeing anything. Like, I've been taking progress pics. And she's like, oh, you're fine. Usually it's after the 4th one. So I go for the 4th one. Don't see any results. So at this point, I'm getting really worried that this is fully just a scam, and they just took an exorbitant amount of my money.
That's more advice that you're giving to people there, which is good. And the advice is that you should have asked, on average, how many treatments people have before they see results.
I go to my 5th treatment at a different location because they were the ones that had appointments, and this lady is the most girly pop team member that I have met so far. It is girly pop on steroids. She's like, oh my god, I'm obsessed with your skin. I can tell how many treatments you've done. It's incredible. You're glowing. I'm obsessed with this. Like, oh my gosh, let's go in the back. So I like lay down. I'm like doing numbing cream. And I'm telling her that I'm like really worried because this is my second to last treatment and I'm not seeing any results. And she's like, okay, between you and me, it took me 12 treatments and I'm getting 6 more.
That's disgusting that she's telling you it took her 12 treatments. What a lie. She's only saying that because she wants you to get more treatments.
I'm obsessed with this stuff. It's so good. You just have to be patient. But after this appointment, I'll set you up with 6 more. Don't worry. And I'm like, wait a minute. No, like, I do not want to do 6 more. Are you joking? Like, I already spent so much money on the first 6. It didn't do anything. I'm not about to spend more money on 6 more. Like, this was not what was promised. So she does the numbing cream, and then I guess she flagged that I was getting like worried, because then the nurse clearly cranked up the machine because it hurt so bad this time. Like, they definitely were like, she's losing faith, like, pump up the laser. So I was like in so much pain, like my face was so red, and
So they were really scamming you then if on your 5th treatment they turn up the laser and your face is so red. That means it's actually working this time, and the other 4 times it wasn't. That is just so disgusting.
go to the front desk and like way to kick a girl while she's down. This girl goes, okay, let me crunch the numbers for you and we can get you those 6 treatments. And before I could stop her, she's like on her keyboard, and I swear she's just playing girls go games, because how do you crunch numbers? Like, what does that even mean? And so she's crunching her numbers and she finally goes, oh my god, okay, I can get you 40% off your next 6. And then I was like, okay, sick. This has been a scam, because if you can crunch numbers and get me 40% off on a random Tuesday, that means you have been severely overcharging me this whole time. And that made me feel so slimy. But then what she says is, this is limited time only. I'll tell my clients about this deal. They'll go home, they'll call me, they'll say, I want the deal, it's so good. And then I can't give it to them because it's limited time only.
That is typical sales training 101 right there. You offer the client more sessions at 40% off, and obviously, a lot of people want to save money, so they're going to do it. But I'm so glad that you didn't, because in your case, the ones that you'd paid for hadn't worked. So it's really good that you didn't fall for that. And it's also brilliant that you are bringing this to people's attention. My last piece of advice for you, if you are going to get any kind of beauty treatments, is to ask lots of questions, make lots of inquiries so you find a reputable company to go to so you don't get scammed like this lady did. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Ta-ta for now.